and I was listening to a lot of his stuff back in 2016. Alan Watts, everyone probably knows him at this point. Out of Your Mind, the series. I watched that 14-hour audible book over and over again, and there's one quote that he says in there that's so powerful. And again, different categories of spirituality for different people, but he says something along the lines of like, what I call a real swing human being is one that knows that he's beyond the game of life, but plays the game of life fully. He
100%.
plays, so like it's, and what that embodies for me is like, and I think he says after this, he goes, you go through the heartbreaks and you're fully in it, like you're fully in love, and like you're feeling all the emotions of love, and then like you're going out to have fun with your friends, but then behind all, so you're playing this beautiful large game of life, but behind all that, that it's more than that. And like it's almost like that existential chuckle that you have. It's like you just start laughing to yourself. It's like, what am I
Yeah.
this is so silly, but it's like it's so funny. And I really love that. And I what you said before really made me think of that.
Yeah. And I would love to expand on that, because so what Alan Watts
Please.
said there is essentially like the highest level spiritual teaching, right? But people just interpret and elicit it in different ways. But that's essentially what it is that this personality, this identity that we have as Luke, as Emma, is our avatar. But we are actually, like, the truth of who we are is the awareness behind that avatar. So this is what trips people up, is attachment and identification. So when something happens to you, or you have a thought, or you have an emotion, when you are attached to it, you make it mean something about you. And when you make it mean something about you, you generate a story about yourself. That story creates resistance between where you are and what you want to create. So when you're able, and this is something I teach my community all the time, is to be the observer of your experience. It's one of the most powerful things you can do. Like, take guided meditation completely off the table for a moment. If you actually want to be a resilient mind, which is like a core pillar of the work that I do, if you want to be resilient, you must learn to sit with yourself without judgment, without avoidance, and without narrative. When you can do that, you're actually sitting as the truth of who you are, which is awareness. You're sitting as the witness and the observer of your experience without identifying with it. When you do that, you're actually existing in the realm of effortless change. You get to create from a place of your creative genius, which is your nature, rather than trying to find resolution for a past hurt in your identity. Because the only time that you can really be triggered is when you're in your identity. When you're beyond that, you will experience the same circumstance, but the trigger will be different.
Mm.
Right? So the thing is this, it's very simple, it's very profound, but it really takes practice to arrive to that place. Some people can get there instantly, like instant awakenings. Some people, it takes the practice of returning to that place of being awareness and releasing your attachments to people, places, things, and opportunities. Because it really is attachment to something that creates suffering. And attachment is the opposite of freedom. When you release your attachments, you experience freedom no matter what your circumstances are. And that's the difference between circumstantial power and personal power. Circumstantial power is relying on your attachments to people, places, or things as a means to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel certain. When you release your attachment to that, you actually return to your truth as a free, limitless being, which is awareness, which is having a physical experience, but it's not attached to it. Right? So that's how I see that.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Getting Mental podcast. If you like this episode, then you'll love this one here and this one here. Check them out.